Hi, my name is Christina, but you might know me as Wanderlusting Hippie. I was a full-time nomad traveling around the US, Southeast Asia, and Europe for 7 years, and these are some of my stories. Let's talk. Hi. Now today I wanted to talk about a more serious topic. And it doesn't matter if you are a solo traveler or you're going with friends, whether you're male or female. The important thing is that you stay aware of your surroundings. I'm going to share a story with you today that I have not shared with a lot of people for fear of embarrassment and just a little bit of fear. We all know to keep an eye on our drinks when we're out, right? That's kind of been drilled into us for quite a while. The problem is we tend to let our guard down during the day when the sun's out. We think that because it's daytime, something bad can't happen to us. But the problem is, especially now, a lot of people are looking down in their phones. And that could be a big target on your back, especially if you're in a new country. Now, I understand that sometimes you need the phone for GPS or for a conversion app to find out how something costs, how much it costs. But when we tend to be looking down on our phones, scrolling all the time, not only do pickpocketers take notice, but so do other people. So this is my story about a time when I visited Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I went to the mall. Let me start by saying Kuala Lumpur is a Muslim country. And I don't know if you heard me say in the last video, I really was winging it when I traveled. I didn't do a whole lot of research. So I didn't know these things before I arrived. And I was coming from Los Angeles, where you really dress for the weather. You wear cutoffs and crop tops and beach wear because you're always about to go to the beach. So even though Malaysia has a humid environment, you shouldn't dress like that there. And now I know. And I hope I'm teaching you. So I'm walking around the mall in Kuala Lumpur, and I feel someone watching me. And I kind of brush it off, just checking out different stores. And I did notice someone acting a little suspicious. And so I decided, I was on the top level, I decided to take the escalator down to the bottom level. And they didn't follow me immediately, but they stayed back enough, but they did come back down to the bottom level as well. And I decided to go into a store. They happened to follow me into that store. And they stayed far enough behind, pretending to look at clothes. And I picked out a few things to try on, and then they approached me. And they tried to make conversation. And I am very, very non-confrontational, but I'm not interested in talking to anyone. So I brushed them off. I said, "Oh, hi, thanks. No, I don't feel like I'm shopping. Thank you." And I kept shopping. Well, I think because I wasn't assertive, that probably also put a target on my back. So the guy backs off a little bit, but stays in the store. He goes a few rows of clothes back. I pick out a couple pairs of pants, I think, to try on. And I go to the fitting room, go try them on. And when I come out, he's standing at the front of the fitting room waiting for me. And he's like, hey, I just wanted to talk to you, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, thank you, no. I'm shopping, please. And he wouldn't let it go. He kept following me. He's like, I'm just trying to get to know you. I just wanted to, you know, see where you're coming from. Where are you from? And just pushing the issue. And I just didn't have it in me to be mean. But he followed me as I went back into the store to go shopping. And it was starting to really scare me because men are stronger than women, so they can do anything. And it was a local, it wasn't a traveler. That's a big thing to note. It was a local, older gentleman. And I got so scared. I was able to lose him in the store for a minute. I went around a corner and he stayed in the initial room. And then I ducked behind some clothing. And I watched him come into the room that I was in and look around, look for me. And I was so terrified. I called a car on my phone and I waited for them to get to the entrance of the mall. And I kept an eye on this guy where he was. And as soon as the car was there, I wasn't going to go out to the entrance and just wait out in the open. But as soon as the car arrived, I was able to make a dash from the store to the entrance of the mall to where the car was and get in the car and go back to my hotel. And I had mentioned something to the driver about what happened. And he said, oh yes, you have to be very careful in this area. So I don't want to make assumptions about what might have happened, what was going to happen. I don't know. But it scared me enough that I did not leave my hotel that night. I had plans to go to this really nice bar for drinks, but I was so afraid to go alone, especially after that interaction. And could I have been more assertive? Absolutely, yes. But I could have also just been more aware of my surroundings. And it really put a damper on my trip that, you know, fear was placed into me from this stranger. And it kept me from enjoying a couple days on my trip. So I just wanted to share that to make sure that you guys are also being hyper vigilant when you're out. Don't be on your phone. Put it in your pocket, you know, be more assertive, make eye contact, look at someone in the eye and say, no, back off. And hopefully this will help someone. I will say, Kuala Lumpur is still probably one of my most favorite places that I've ever visited, despite having this happen. I think it is a gorgeous, gorgeous place, and I have so many fond memories from there. So I didn't let that ruin my perception of the country. But it did teach me a big lesson. So I hope you guys got some value from this. If you did, please share it with a friend that you think might need to hear it. And please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.